Before the world knew her name, before the awards, the sold-out arenas, and the unforgettable songs, Adele was just a girl growing up in Tottenham, North London. Her full name is Adele Laurie Blue Adkins, and she was born on May 5, 1988. Her life did not begin with glamour or fame. It began quietly, shaped by ordinary struggles, strong emotions, and a deep love for music. Adele was raised by her mother, Penny Adkins, who worked hard to support her daughter on her own. Life wasn't always easy, but it was filled with warmth, honesty, and resilience. From a young age, Adele showed signs of being different, not louder or more confident, but deeply emotional. She felt things intensely. Music became her safe place, her way of understanding the world. As a child, Adele loved to sing at home. She was inspired by powerful female voices like Ella Fitzgerald, Etta James, and later, the Spice Girls. Music wasn't just background noise to her. It was something that moved her soul. When she sang, she felt understood, even when words failed her. Despite her talent, Adele was not a confident child. She struggled with self-doubt and insecurity, especially about her appearance and voice. She didn't see herself as special. She didn't dream of being famous. What she wanted was simple: to sing, to feel, and to be heard. Everything began to change when Adele attended the Brit School for Performing Arts and Technology. This school was known for nurturing creative talent, but even there, Adele didn't stand out as someone destined for superstardom. She was shy, quiet, and focused on learning rather than performing. Still, her voice, rich, soulful, and raw, caught the attention of those who listened closely. During her final year, Adele recorded a few demo songs as part of a class project. These recordings were not meant for the world. They were just homework. But fate had other plans. A friend uploaded her songs to MySpace, a popular music platform at the time. Adele didn't promote them. She didn't chase attention. She didn't even expect anyone to notice. But people did notice. Her voice was different. It carried pain, honesty, and maturity far beyond her years. Music industry professionals began reaching out, curious about the young woman with the powerful sound and heartbreaking lyrics. Adele was surprised. She didn't feel ready. She didn't feel worthy. But something inside her whispered that she should take a chance. That whisper, the quiet courage to move forward, was the first step toward a life that would change not only her world, but the world of music itself. When Adele was signed to a record label, everything felt unreal. She was still the same young woman from Tottenham, unsure of herself, suddenly stepping into a world she had never imagined. Fame did not arrive overnight, but the journey began quickly, and it was both exciting and frightening at the same time. In 2007, Adele started working on her first album. She didn't want to sound like anyone else. She wasn't interested in trends or flashy production. What mattered to her were emotions, real feelings, real stories, real heartbreak. Her songs were deeply personal, often drawn from her own experiences of love, loneliness, and disappointment. That honesty became her greatest strength. Her debut album, 19, was released in 2008. The title reflected her age and her emotional state at the time. Songs like Chasing Pavements and Hometown Glory introduced the world to a voice that felt familiar yet powerful. Adele didn't sing to impress. She sang to connect. Her voice carried pain, hope, and vulnerability in a way few artists could. At first, success came quietly. The album didn't explode instantly, but word spread fast. Listeners felt something when they heard her sing. Critics praised her soulful tone and emotional depth. Soon, Adele was performing on television, touring small venues, and hearing her songs played on the radio. Then came the recognition. Adele won the Grammy Award for Best New Artist in 2009. Standing on that stage, she felt overwhelmed. She still didn't see herself as a star. She was just a girl who sang about her feelings. But the world was beginning to listen closely. Despite her growing fame, Adele remained grounded. She struggled with the pressure of expectations and the fear of losing her authenticity. She worried about whether she could write another album that felt as honest as the first. Doubt followed her everywhere, even in moments of success. As she began writing her second album, Adele experienced heartbreak that would deeply shape her music. A painful breakup left her emotionally broken, but creatively awakened. She poured her feelings into songwriting, using music as a form of healing. Every lyric became a confession. Every melody carried truth. This period was not easy. Adele questioned herself constantly. She cried, she wrote, she erased, and she wrote again. But through that pain, something powerful was forming. A sound that would define a generation. Her voice grew stronger, deeper, and more confident. She no longer tried to fit into the music industry. Instead, she allowed her own sound to lead the way. She trusted her instincts, even when they scared her. What Adele didn't know then was that the pain she was feeling would soon turn into something extraordinary. The songs she was writing in quiet rooms, with tears in her eyes, were about to change everything. And the world was not ready for what came next. In 2011, Adele released her second album, 21, and nothing in her life was ever the same again. What began as songs written through heartbreak turned into a global phenomenon. From the very first notes, the world knew this was something special. The lead single, Rolling in the Deep, was powerful, raw, and unforgettable. It wasn't just a breakup song, it was an anthem of pain, strength, and self-respect. Adele's voice carried anger and vulnerability at the same time, and listeners around the world felt every word. The song climbed the charts rapidly, dominating radios and playlists in country after country. Then came Someone Like You. With just a piano and her voice, Adele delivered one of the most emotional performances of her career. The song spoke about love lost, acceptance, and moving on. When she performed it live at the Brit Awards, the room fell silent. Many people cried. That performance changed her career forever. Overnight, Adele became a household name. 21 broke records everywhere. It stayed on the charts for years and became one of the best-selling albums of all time. People from different cultures, languages, and backgrounds connected to her music. Adele didn't need flashy outfits or complex choreography. Her voice was enough. But while the world celebrated her success, Adele was facing a serious challenge behind the scenes. Years of intense touring and vocal strain took a toll on her voice. She began experiencing vocal cord problems that made singing painful and difficult. Eventually, she had to cancel tours and take time off to protect her voice. This was devastating for her. Music was her identity, and suddenly she was afraid she might lose it. Adele went through vocal surgery and a long recovery period. During that time, she stepped away from the spotlight, choosing her health over fame. It was a brave decision, but also a frightening one. Despite everything, 21 earned Adele countless awards, including 6 Grammy Awards in one night. She stood on stage, overwhelmed and emotional, thanking the people who supported her and the heartbreak that inspired her songs. She didn't pretend to be perfect, she was honest, even in her victories. Adele's success was not built on image or trends. It was built on truth. Her willingness to show vulnerability made people feel less alone. Her voice gave comfort to millions who were hurting. Yet, after all the praise and recognition, Adele felt the need to step back. She didn't want to be consumed by fame. She wanted a real life, one that allowed her to grow, love, and breathe outside the spotlight. The world waited patiently, wondering what she would do next. And when she returned, she would do so not just as an artist, but as a woman transformed. After the overwhelming success of 21, Adele chose a path few expected. Instead of chasing the spotlight, she stepped away from it. Fame had given her everything she once feared she didn't deserve, but it had also taken away something precious: privacy. Adele needed space to breathe, to heal, and to grow as a person. In 2012, Adele welcomed her son into the world. Motherhood changed her deeply. For the first time, her life was no longer about albums, charts, or awards. It was about love in its purest form. She found joy in simple moments, quiet mornings, laughter, and being present. Being a mother grounded her in ways success never could. During this time, Adele disappeared from public view. Fans wondered if she would ever return. But Adele wasn't afraid of silence. She believed that real music needed real life behind it. She wanted her next songs to come from experience, not pressure. In 2015, Adele returned with her third album, 25. The release of the single Hello sent shockwaves across the world. The song felt like a conversation between the past and the present, a message of reflection, regret, and forgiveness. Her voice sounded deeper, richer, and more mature. Hello broke records within hours. The album 25 followed and became another global success. But this time, Adele approached fame differently. She spoke openly about her struggles with anxiety, stage fright, and self-acceptance. She admitted that performing still terrified her, even after years of success. What made people love her even more was her honesty. Adele didn't pretend to be confident all the time. She laughed at herself on stage, shared awkward moments, and reminded the world that she was human. Her music matured alongside her, focusing less on heartbreak and more on reflection, growth, and understanding. Despite the success of 25, Adele once again chose to step back. She valued her role as a mother more than her role as a superstar. She wanted to raise her child away from constant attention. Fame, to her, was something to visit, not something to live in permanently. Behind closed doors, Adele faced personal challenges, including the end of her marriage. It was a painful chapter, but also a transformative one. She focused on healing, self-love, and becoming the best version of herself, not for the world, but for her child and her own peace. She took time to rediscover who she was without expectations. During this period, Adele changed not just emotionally, but physically as well. However, she made it clear that her transformation was about health and happiness, not pleasing others. The silence between albums was long, but it was meaningful. Adele was learning, living, and becoming stronger. And when she finally found her voice again, it would be the most honest one yet. When Adele returned once again, it wasn't just with new music, it was with a new understanding of herself. In 2021, she released her fourth studio album, 30, the most personal work of her career. This album wasn't written for the charts. It was written from the heart, during one of the most difficult periods of her life. 30 told the story of divorce, healing, motherhood, and self-forgiveness. Adele didn't hide her pain. Instead, she turned it into truth. Songs like Easy on Me revealed vulnerability in its purest form, a woman asking for understanding, not judgment. Her voice carried sadness, strength, and acceptance all at once. What made this album special was its honesty. Adele spoke openly about explaining divorce to her son, about guilt, and about learning how to love herself again. Many listeners found comfort in her words. Once again, Adele reminded the world that music doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to be real. Despite her global fame, Adele remained deeply grounded. She continued to speak about her fear of performing and her dislike of constant attention. When she canceled her Las Vegas residency at the last minute due to creative and emotional struggles, she faced criticism. But she chose honesty over pretending. Later, when she returned, she did so with confidence and clarity. Adele's legacy goes far beyond awards and record sales. She changed how the world views pop music. She proved that a powerful voice and honest lyrics could stand stronger than trends. She showed that vulnerability is not weakness, but strength. She also became a symbol of self-acceptance. Adele never tried to fit into the industry's expectations. She laughed loudly, cried openly, and spoke her truth without apology. Millions of people saw themselves in her, not because she was perfect, but because she was real. Today, Adele is recognized as one of the greatest vocalists of her generation. But perhaps her greatest achievement is how she made people feel. Her songs have helped listeners through heartbreak, loneliness, healing, and hope. Her voice became a companion in people's hardest moments. From a shy girl in Tottenham to a global icon, Adele's journey is a reminder that success doesn't come from pretending to be someone else. It comes from embracing who you truly are. Her voice didn't just change the music industry. It changed the world, one honest song at a time.